Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another live stream. I'm pretty excited for this one. Main reason being that everything right now is up by a large amount. So, without further ado, we are going to look at Bitcoin first. And there's a couple of things that I would like to show you guys when we go through Bitcoin. First thing being is that we just finished the Head and Shoulders as we did in July previous year, 2017. And right now we are up again, like I predicted. The price didn't quite go down again the way I wanted it to go. This would have made for a nice retest of the previous resistance, which now turned into support. But I don't think this really matters a lot. To me, this only seems like very bullish. And let me just draw out a wedge here that we are forming. There we go. Yeah, so currently we are forming a wedge. And I believe, call me crazy or not, I believe that once we finish this wedge, we could possibly bounce at this support right here, or we could still go down lower into the 12, 13K levels, which wouldn't really be bad. It would be good to build some support there, but if we don't, it doesn't matter. If we break this resistance right here, I believe we are going to go straight to 40K USD. And this is not unthinkable, back in January 2017, when anybody said okay, at the end of this year, Bitcoin's going to be 18,000 USD, people would have laughed. People would say, oh, dude, you're crazy. What are you doing? It doesn't make sense, but it actually does make sense. If we look at this large logarithmic timescale that I made here, this is from the first time you could reasonably trade Bitcoin up until now. I took the lowest point, took the highest point of this bubble right here, the 2013 bubble. That unfortunately popped and took us into a multi-year bear market. I believe we are going to do the same thing again. I think we're going to go into these 40K levels, 40K USD, like we did in 2013. This is the resistance that I'm looking at. And once we reach these levels, I believe there's going to be a big crash. Reason being, in the past, when we actually reached this resistance, there was a huge correction. I mean, if I look at how much percent this was, I believe this was 80%. Yeah, this is an 80% correction. I don't think we're going to see the same thing again this year. I don't believe that we are going to see 80% moves in Bitcoin anymore. It's too mature for that. But that being said, I've drawn out a support line right here, bottom of the crash, and we bounced a couple of times into it again. Then when it broke, the price took a major dump. And now we are above the line again. So I believe we're going to go to 40K USD. And after which we will probably see a major sell-off all the way to the 20K, 15K levels. That's my 2 cents on Bitcoin. In the short term, if I take my 4-hour chart here, everything is looking fine. I do see the RSI is turning a little bit bearish, but that's not really a problem. I think, possibly next month, maybe this month, even if we are lucky, we are going to break this all-time high. So that's it for Bitcoin. Now I want to go to the exciting stuff, which is the altcoins, of course. The past couple of weeks have been amazing. Everything is up so much. Everyone is making money. There are currently so many new users coming that exchanges don't accept new users anymore. I mean, Bittrex closed new users, Poloniex, all kinds of exchanges. They are not accepting new users as of now. So there's a lot of strength left here, because the moment they actually do accept new users, that's when we will possibly see the biggest rally of this year, because everyone's just waiting right now. People are managing to buy some, but it's nothing relevant for the new guys. They cannot trade on Bittrex, they cannot trade on Poloniex. I believe Cryptopia has actually shut down new user registrations. So I'm really excited for that. And the first coin I want to look at with you guys is going to be Lux. You know, we were in a channel. Let me just draw it out. This is to be a little bit lower. So this was the channel we were trading in. We were in this channel for like, I don't know, a month, 1.5 months. And as of now, we are breaking out. So if I take my Fibonacci and I pull this over the previous channel, you know, the first target for Lux is going to be the 618, which is currently sitting at 175,000 Satoshis. So that's going to be my first target. But I don't think I'm actually going to sell off a lot here. Moves like these, you know, when a channel breaks, this usually sends coins parabolic. So I would be aiming a little bit higher, you know, for my first sell-off, which is 250,000 Satoshis. And if I take up the market cap for Lux, you know, this is the main reason I'm so excited. It's a great coin, great tech, great devs, and the market cap is like 20 million, not even. It's 18.5 million as of now. So this could easily go ×5 if they perform, which is not even that much, you know. If we look at the market cap of like the top 100 coins, this is like 300 million, you know, 500 million, you know, 800 million. So 100 million, that's basically nothing, and we can easily go there. So if I take this into account, you know, the chart should look something like this. I think we're going to bounce on the previous resistance, which now turned into support, and then we're going to go parabolic. That's my view on it. I believe this is the most likely scenario, and I hope it plays out. You know, I've got my position. I bought way back. I put it on Twitter, so it's all looking good. Now there's another coin that I'm really excited about, and this is EOS. If you're not familiar with EOS, it's created by the guy who also created BitShares and Steam. Both really good products, both function really well, you know, fast blockchains, good blockchains. Great use case for Steam. I really like it. And reason I'm so excited for EOS is as follows. You know, a lot of coins have scaling issues. For example, Bitcoin can process like 6 transactions per second at the moment, but it's getting much more. And the same goes for Ethereum. Ethereum has 40 transactions per second, I believe, but it's going to need much, much more than that. In the Netherlands alone, for Visa, there were like 300 transactions per second. So you can imagine the scaling issues that all the coins are going to run into. And this is where EOS comes into play. EOS is a smart contract blockchain, kind of like Ethereum. Only it will be able to process 100,000 transactions per second. So as you can imagine, that's next level game. That's something like no other blockchain is able to do at the moment, not any significant. So, you know, if we look on the technical side, let's see what we got here. You know, this doesn't really count, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I take my Fibonacci, gonna look at the on-balance volume, and I will explain why I'm gonna look at that. So the on-balance volume is basically my whale indicator. You know, whales can hide if they are buying or selling by putting sell walls or buy walls, making people dump, but they cannot hide the volume that is flowing in or out a certain coin. You know, and as you can see, the moment that the on-balance volume started to pump here, which is before the pump, that's when the coin started to go up. So that's something I like to look at for spotting good trades. The RSI is relatively stable. No, it's nothing too weird, and I think I'm gonna have to go to the daily for this. Yes, there we go. So as you can see, volume is constantly picking up. It appears as though we are forming a cup and handle. And for the ones that don't know, the cup and handle is a bullish pattern. Basically, it should look something like this. This is called the cup. Oh, this doesn't really look very nice, but still. This is called the cup. It's a, spherical pattern that the chart's made, and then you have the handle. And the handle usually looks something like this, a horizontal extension after the cup. And this is a bullish pattern, and often breakouts follow. And if you are not into EOS yet, I would recommend to get in after we break the cup. So basically what usually happens, price breaks out, goes back into the previous resistance, this line right here. I'm going to paint it red. This line right here is the resistance, and this will turn into support if it is successfully retested, and then usually the price will, take off. Market cap wise, EOS is pretty high. It's the 14th place with a $5.5 billion market cap. However, I believe if the devs perform, if their products get launched, and if EOS does what it says it's going to do, then it should easily deserve a spot in the top 5. So, which would make this another ×4 or ×5, something like that. Could go even higher, if Ethereum runs into big scaling issues. I think EOS is the first next in line to actually take over. And if I combine this, with the market cap, it should give us a ×4 from here. It's currently 70,000. So that should bring us to 280. There is no Fibonacci level here. So I'm just going to say 300,000 Satoshis before end of year 2018. This is not a short-term position for me. I bought in, I sold only 10% when it's 10x up, just to be safe, pull out my investment, let the other 90% ride. And I'm keeping this for this whole year. So this is definitely a good 2018 pick. Really excited for it. And I hope you are too. I hope you have some, that you bought some earlier, because these levels right here, these will probably never be seen again. Further, we're going to look sorry, at Litecoin. We're going to do this both against Bitcoin and against USD. I am pretty excited about Litecoin. Reason being, from the start of 2017, this basically has been an accumulation phase. That's what I believe this is. If this was just a bubble, it would have popped and it would never go up again. So if we look on the volume, I'm just going to pull the volume here. If we look at the Bitcoin volume, it's not much special. It's like, okay, this is relatively stable. But if we chart it against USD and we check the volume again, we can see volume is rising like crazy. And I believe this is due to, institutional investors and people with big money. They don't really trade with Bitcoins. They use USD to trade, certain pairs. So to me, this is a sign that institutional money is entering the market, or at least big money from people who trade with USD rather than Bitcoin. And this is what also has me so excited for Litecoin. We are currently in a wedge. I'll just hold on. This is the wedge. And I think there's like an 80-90% chance this is going to break out on the bull side and take Litecoin to at least 500 USD, maybe more. Just gonna check where are the fib levels. The first fib level should be around 590 USD, which is also gonna be my target. I'm gonna sell off 60% here, take some big profits, and then maybe let the rest run to go to 1,000 USD. This would coincide with my Bitcoin prediction. You know, if Bitcoin goes to 40K, it will take Litecoin with it. And that's why probably the Bitcoin chart will look a little bit different. You know, if we break out of the Bitcoin chart, it's going super parabolic. And I believe it's possible to go to 0.03. You know, this wouldn't be too crazy. But I don't see it going much higher. So that's it for Litecoin. And finally, we're gonna look at Ethereum. Chart against the Bitcoin. There we go. My buy price is 0.03. So, you know, this was a pretty good buy, if I say so myself. Reason I actually bought here was as follows. There was a divergence on the RSI and the MACD indicators. They were not going down and the price was going down. So I believe the price was just pushed here, pushed all the weekends out. And, you know, after that, there was just nobody left who wanted to sell. And this whole bear phase here is mostly due to ICOs, I believe. You know, we had a ton of ICOs going on. The first half year of 2017, all these coins had to be sold off. So this created some selling pressure, which resulted in this final dip here. But we should be 100% bullish right now. And just to show you my sell target, it's 618. This is the strongest Fibonacci level. I don't know if I'm going to sell there yet. It really depends on the indicators, on the general, you know, on the general market, to see if I'm actually going to do this. But we're gonna have to see. Now I want to chart it against USD as well. There we go. If you look at the USD side, it's a completely different story. This is just parabolic. And actually you can see the same thing happening here. A lot of USD is flowing into the market, probably from institutional investors who, you know, who also want to get in. They don't trade against Bitcoin, they trade against USD. And this is the reason a lot of these coins are currently going parabolic, even the large caps, especially the large caps. And if I'm gonna set a target on the USD side, you know, basically we we already breached my target here. But you know, I think it could possibly go even higher. I wouldn't be too amazed to see a $1,400 Ethereum. It wouldn't be anything crazy. But that being said, I am possibly going to sell out as soon as we hit that level, just because this is unsustainable for now. But yeah, everything's looking really good. I'm really excited for 2018. My topics will be Lux. It will be EOS, Bitcoin, of course, which is always a topic. So yeah, this is my top 3 for 2018. So thank you for watching. Let me see, is there any questions in the comments? Vertcoin, yes, okay, that will be the final one. I really want to do Vertcoin. I don't need a fib for this. Just to show you why I'm currently like super excited. This whole thing right here, this is accumulation. And I believe this is going to repeat itself until Vertcoin goes parabolic. And it truly deserves to go parabolic. You know, if you ever thought about buying Vertcoin, right now is possibly the best time to do it. We are sitting right on the previous top. You know, this support is looking really, really strong. It was a good resistance, then it became a good support. You can count on this. And if you can get a couple of buys in at these low levels, I think it's going to go parabolic sooner rather than later. My target would easily be 150K, if not more. So this is just accumulation, usually followed by parabolic, and it's looking good. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone on Twitter. Have a good day.